questions, I could answer them here, and then I'll be happy to walk around and talk with people after as well. But Lori?
Do you have any rules about digital film, what you will use, what you won't use?
I've been a film guy for a very long time, and I have shot digitally, and it definitely has come a long way, and it has a purpose, I think, for a lot of people. I still love film. I will shoot some digital, but I really don't have a rule. I mean, I feel like certainly there's a lot of advantages to shooting digital, and it's fast and it's quick. And I do remember I did a job for the police, and I was down in Argentina. I flew to Argentina to shoot a job. And the manager, I shot for the first day. It was like a 3-day thing. It was this big stadium, and they were making a DVD. And the manager said that night, she was like, "Well, great. We really look forward. Can we have these photos for tomorrow to show the band?" And I was like, "No, you can't." And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "I'm shooting film." And she was like, "Wow." I think she looked at her assistant like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And we were going to see these, but anyway, that's just it. Yes?
You mentioned the plastic camera. Can you give it like kind of a quick rundown of what equipment you use for something?
Yeah. I would say that a lot of the color live photographs were probably taken with my Nikon, which is an old beater. It's like a Nikon FE or FE2 for all you photo geeks out there. And I shoot with this Leica a real lot. So a lot of these images are with the Leica. But I also shoot with my Hasselblad, which is that photo, the big photo there I shot with my Hasselblad. That was during the filming of the Devils and Dust dual disc program. And I also shoot with that camera. It's called the Diana, which is like just an old school, 50s camera. I shoot a lot with a Widelux too, which I realized, wait, is there a Widelux in here? But I did see someone had a sweatshirt on from the Seeger sessions, and there was a photo on the back of it that was mine, and I shot that with the Widelux, which is a panoramic camera. There she is. There it is. It's the camera does 140-degree panoramic view. It just shoots around. So I swear I thought there was another one.
Is that the one on the table over here?
No, that was with my Nikon.
Does Bruce prefer one way or the other? Is it narrative?
Film or digital?
Yeah.
I know he's an analog guy. He likes film. That's if I could speak for him, I would bet that's what he would say. Yeah.
I think Frank Stefanko has commented on what a good photographer Bruce is.
Yeah.
And we've seen a little bit of his work in some various publications, but what's your assessment? Have you gotten to see some photos?
I agree. I have seen his photographs, and I'm trying to get him to make a trade with me or something. I'm like, come on. And he's like, yeah, sure, all right. And I'm like, all right, where's my photo? But yeah, he does. He photographs a lot, I think, and I've actually I've seen him. One time we were over here at the convention hall, and Patty was doing her record, and Bruce was relegated to like the harmonica player in the background, And I showed up, and he was in the back, and he had a Leica like this one, and he was around taking pictures and stuff and shooting away, and I was like, "What's going on here? Like, what are you trying to take my work or what?" I said, "You should. When I make my record, you can take a photo." And so. But he does. He has a great eye, and that soulfulness that you hear in his music and in his passion in life in general, it shows in his photographs. Yeah. Yeah.
How many purpose you want to shoot this hand?
Yeah.
Can you explain why? What does it mean the sample for you?
Well, for me, I'm preaching to the choir with all these Bruce Springsteen fans here, but I bet you would know that if you saw it and there was no Springsteen photos around, So you'd come across that picture and you'd be like, oh, Springsteen, So, the preacher, he's there telling the story. And that was one of those ones that I always came across in my contact sheet. And I was like, I'm going to print this one up one of these days. Yeah. And I was like, I'm going to print this up one of these days. And it's interesting because as a photographer, you're telling a story. I see it, for me, I see it as storytelling, and it's I don't need to see his face in every photograph, to tell the story. And, sometimes, you trick yourself into thinking that, maybe people need to see, let's make sure you can see his face and make sure, but I'll tell you, some of my favorites in here is that one and the one in the front, which is the silhouette from the back. To me, there's a soulfulness to them.
The hand on the steering wheel?
Yeah, that's cool too, yeah. Where was that? Yes.
Did you blow off Bob Dylan or what?
Well, I told Bob, listen, I was kind of busy, I'm going to be in Jersey, so if you want to come to me, then I'll show you a picture. No, I got to do both. And it was really exciting. And I photographed Dylan now like a couple of times, 3 times, and he's a really interesting guy, and I couldn't believe he was actually going to show up, to the photo shoot. I was like waiting outside. I was like, okay. And then the van pulled up, and I saw his boot come out of from below the door, and I was like, oh shit. And he came in, and he was cool. So, yeah. Yes.
I'm not set up on some photography in terms of how you do it. I'm looking at the aluminum prints, and I find it very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, obviously that's on film. How do you get that there?
Well, the shot was taken on film, and what it is the image is etched into the aluminum, and it's an archival process, so they won't fade. And I tried to, get the guy to tell me exactly how it was done, but he refused to tell me.
So you don't do it yourself, really?
Yeah, I didn't do that myself. No.
You just give him your negatives.
I gave him a digital scan.
And then it's colorized once it's etched in?
No, it just has that sort of patina to it. And I did one the other day that came out on the cool side. It was like a little cool. That one's a little warm. But I did one of Neil Young, and it came out like kind of cool.
I find it very interesting. What made you choose the specific shots that are in the aluminum process?
I thought that they would read well in that process. There's a lot of light and shadow in there, and it happens in the tungsten light that's on there too, but in the daylight it's really interesting. You could walk around the photo, and if you start over here and then you make your way around, it's sort of the light changes the way that you see in the photograph. It kind of has like a really nice, quality to it and depth.
How many different images have you done?
Well, I've done the 4, and then there's another one that I did that's not in here. It's a really motion-y kind of shot of Bruce on a Harley. That's pretty cool also. But I was just looking to try something. I wanted to see other pictures, in the process of that.
Is the guy that do photography shoot, or do you have exclusive? Or?
No, I saw it.
Whoa!
There you go. Warm beer in New Jersey on the boardwalk. I think that's a Springsteen lyric, if I'm not mistaken. Or it should be a Springsteen.